Hey guys, I'm Dave with Media Unlocked, and today we're going to be talking about a new little toy I got. It's, I guess, a best way to describe it is a white balance filter. Now, I know a lot of people have problems with white balancing. They're always asking me questions, how to white balance, what's the best way to do it. There's a couple of different ways to white balance. Of course, you want to white balance for every scene or every time the light changes. So, say we white balance right now, we walk inside, we're going to need to re-white balance again because the lighting is going to change. So the nice thing about this is it makes white balancing a lot easier. A lot of people use what's called a gray card, or even really in extreme situations, you could use a white piece of paper if you had to, if your white balance was that off. Mainly what you would do is you would hold up the card next to your subject and you'd white balance. You would take a picture of that white balancing card, and that should white balance you out. Now the cool thing about this is, like I said, it's a filter. So mainly what we're going to do is pop this off. I'm going to go on and pop this. This is going to screw in. So you're just going to screw that right into the front of your lens. Once that's screwed in, then you're going to pop this on and you're going to use this to white balance. But before you do all of that, you're going to want to make sure you get your exposures right before you white balance. And you'll white balance on top of your exposure. And then if you need to readjust your exposure, you can do it that way as well. So the first thing we're going to do is, Nick, who's helping me out today, he's going to come out here and he's going to set up, and I'm going to kind of talk you guys through getting my exposure right, and then how to white balance. So we'll be right back. So Nick's going to set up over here. Now you do have custom white balance settings within your camera. So, but the first thing you're going to want to do, like I said, is you want to get your exposure right. So it's an overcast day, which means the shadow is not going to really be an issue, which I absolutely love overcast days. These are my favorite days to shoot on. So I'm going to put my shutter at 100, f-stop at 5.6, and probably ISO around 200. It might need to drop my ISO down to 100. So I'm going to snap the shot. All right. So that's going to be a little over contrast. So let's get the lighting just right, try to bring it down. All right, still, so I'm gonna just bring my shutter all the way up to 200. All right, so that looks pretty good. So now what I'm gonna do is I've got the exposure that I like. So I'm gonna take this little white balance card. Now there are a couple different ways you can white balance. I found shooting at the subject is not gonna white balance it. So what I'm going to do is, I've got the, like I said, I've already got my exposure. So really my light, a lot of my light source is coming from up above. So I'm going to just grab a shot from up above. And you may have to drop because your camera's not going to be able to focus. So just drop it into manual focus. Snap a shot. All right. The main objective is when you're white balance, you want to get the white balance to get from the light source. So wherever your light source is, that's what you want to be taking a picture of, is your light source.
So the first thing you're going to do is go into your white balance settings. Go all the way over to custom. Now you're going to click your custom white balance setting, click OK. Now what you're going to do is, you're going to go find, you're going to hit menu. You're going to click custom white balance. Now the picture that you just took with the white balance filter, mine's a few ones back, so there it is. It's the white one right there. So I'm going to go on and set that by hitting OK. OK. And now my white balance has been set to the customly for your shot with the filter.
Should be good to go here. And my white balance should be set up. Again, I need to pop it back to autofocus. And my white balance doesn't look too bad. Okay, now the other way that you can do this is to stand in the subject where the subject's at. So I'm going to walk out here to where Nick's at. Nick, if you want to move over for a second for me. So this is pretty much where Nick is at. We've already kind of set up our positions where we're shooting this. So again, where's the light source coming from? It's still coming from up here, so I could just snap a shot from up here. Hit menu, custom white balance. All right, so Nick's gonna get back in his spot. I'm gonna go back to where I was at. And then I'm gonna snap a shot. And my white balance looks pretty good. So people out there that may be more experienced photographers than me, I've kind of watched a couple different videos, done some research on the best way to use these white balance filters. Some people say you just want to point right at the light source from where you're shooting and that will white balance it. Other people say you want to get in the position of the subject and shoot towards the light source. And you may have to do both. Do them both, test them out, see what the white balance looks better. So again, this is these things are white balance filters. You can get them up on Amazon. They're like $3 or $4. They're not very expensive. So shipped, they're probably under $7. You do need to get ones for each lens. So I've got 3 different ones for 3 different lenses because of the filter size. So you're gonna have to get one for each lens size. I just recently purchased a new lens, which I'm gonna be doing a review on, the Tamron 28 to 75 2.8 fixed. It's I think a 67 millimeter ring. I don't have a white balance filter for it. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to order a 67 millimeter white balance filter for it, so I have one for that lens as well. So anyways, I hope guys this helped you out. And if you got any comments or questions, feel free to leave them. You guys have a good day, and check us out on Facebook or Twitter at DAVIDDIMAGE. And,